Hey, good morning. Eric Arnold here in the wee hours of the morning on Saturday, November 12th. Here in the sports barn, we've got the entire NFL slate for you here. We're trying to get back into a handicap and rhythm. We really got off track there with the elections that really took up a lot of our time. Although, don't forget to check out our new video on Rumble, Politics Barn, all one word, entitled Airing of Grievances. So make sure to check that out. The link will be in the description of this video. So go there and check that out. But at any rate, we're going to try to get into the NFL here hard in the second half. And I think that's how we're going to try to do this now going forward. That we're going to do baseball. I'm pretty comfortable our model works in the baseball season. So from April into, say, mid-September, we'll be into baseball. And then we're going to go into the NFL, I think. I've always said the NFL is the easiest to handicap. I guess here in the second half of the year, we're going to see if that's right or not. Put our money where our mouth is and see what we can do. There's just too many college football games. I have a pretty good model for college football, but I just haven't been keeping up with it, frankly, this year. I mean, we've had the death of my father and what have you, so we just haven't really been keeping up with it. But we're going to try to get back on track, and I don't know, like I said, college football, so much, just so much. So that could be it, in other words, you got baseball, you got NFL football, and then we take 2 months off in the middle of the winter in that college basketball is like college football on steroids. They're just thousands of games, tens of thousands of games. And I don't know, unless I can find some just guaranteed angle that I could just play over and over again and just do it mindlessly and not think about it, then, yeah, what are we talking about? At any rate, let's get to it here. Where we kick off? I guess we kick off in Germany, right? First ever NFL game in Munich, Germany. And it's the Seahawks and the Buccaneers. Seahawks look like they're about a 2-point underdog. I guess the thinking here is that Brady is now back on the beam after his miraculous comeback there at the end of last week against the Rams. Touchdown, and then the Rams choked that game away. I mean, that was just... that was ugly. That was just terrible defense by the Rams. But, the common thinking here, I think, is that Brady over Geno Smith, and he's got it going now, and there's no way that he's going to go all the way over there and lose because he's the great Tom Brady, and he's going to show the people of Europe that he's the greatest quarterback ever. This could be a trap, but we're taking the Seahawks. We're taking the Seahawks in that we think we have a significant coaching advantage with Pete Carroll over Todd Bowles. I don't know. I mean, Brady hadn't played particularly well this year, and Geno Smith is playing well. I mean, I know that sounds idiotic, and it really sounds like you're just walking right into a trap because, it's Geno Smith. But I would have to, if Brady has an edge, it's not a big one. I mean, at a certain point, you're a 40, what is he now, 46, 45, 44? I've lost track. Are you really that much better at this stage in your life than this guy, Geno Smith, who's having a career year? And plus, the Seahawks are playing like a cohesive unit. I did not like the language that was coming out of the Buccaneer locker room this week, where Brady, I guess, has told his team that we're not winning because of lack of effort. And of course, That's not meaning lack of effort on Tom Brady's part. That would be crazy talk. It means lack of effort on everybody else's part. That's not good. That really is not good. That's not a winning statement. Oh, I know he's the greatest winner ever, but that's not going to gender goodwill towards the team or Tom Brady. So I didn't like that. Whereas the Seahawks, they seem to just be playing together. They're winning. Another factor I like in this game is that Pete Carroll has played overseas before. He kind of has an idea how to do it, what the schedule should be. He also compares it to a bowl game. In other words, Carroll was a very successful college coach, a very successful record in bowl games. And I think that Carroll has a big edge over Todd Bowles as far as organizing the schedule for this game. So I think the Seahawks are going to be better prepared. I think they're a better team. And you're catching points. You're catching 2 points. So I'm okay with trying to beat the great Tom Brady here. He'll probably win by a point. And then we'll all be happy, right? All right, number next, Bears, Lions. I don't know. I think we're just dropping in here with the Bears because of Justin Fields. This is a guy that's starting to come into his own. He's starting to carve out a niche in the NFL as the next big thing. He makes plays with his legs. He's really playing very well for the Bears. They just don't win because their defense is awful, just horrible. You think the Bears and defense go together? Apparently not, because they have an awful defense. But, it's the Lions. And the Bears generally play okay against the Lions. You're only laying 3 points here at home. So we're going to go with Fields and the Bears lay the 3. This next one we're kind of, not crazy about this one, but on the other hand, it might the Jaguars and the Chiefs. Jaguars and the Chiefs. Chiefs are a 9-point favorite at home over the Jaguars. Chiefs haven't covered at home all year long. They're just not, especially at home, they're just not blowing people out. They seem to save their best for when they're on the road, and that's been Andy's way, Andy Reid, forever. Andy holds his best cards for when he goes on the road. So here they're at home again. We're just going to go ahead and play the underdog Jaguars again. The Jaguars pretty much have held every game this year within 10 points. So we think again the Jaguars will keep it close and use the same blueprint that the Titans used last, Sunday night? Or was it Monday night? I think it was Sunday night. Last Sunday night, the Titans, without a quarterback, only lost by a field goal in overtime by just running the ball on the Chiefs. And we think that's what the Jaguars are going to do. So we expect another low-scoring game that ends up in the low 20s. And that the Jaguars will do just enough to cover the 9. So if I were you, I'd wait to bet that one, see if that floats closer to 10, because I don't think a lot of people are going to be playing the Jaguars. Number next, the Saints at the Steelers. Saints 1.5-point favorites. We've been fading that Saint team all year long. Don't like the coach. I don't like the quarterback situation. With Andy Dalton at quarterback, that's probably superior to having Jameis Winston, but it's still nothing to write home about. The Steelers, they're 2-6. They look like, but they're the Steelers, man. I'd be really surprised if the Steelers end up this year like 3-14. That just it hasn't happened in my lifetime. I was born in 1968, so I guess right there that the Steelers were bad for a couple years when I was a baby. But since then, that team's never been that bad. And I don't know why that would change now. It's just a solid organization. I think they're going to get Kenny Pickett up and running. They're coming off a bye. And that's just the way we see that. We like the Steelers at home against the Saints. So we'll take the Steelers. Getting a 1.5, no less. Dolphins, Browns. Dolphins 3.5-point favorites. I don't know. I guess, again, this is one where we're kind of coming back and looking at it as who's a better team here? I mean, the number, if you say, okay, the home team gets a 3-point edge one way or the other, then you're telling me that these are almost identical teams, that the Browns and Dolphins are almost identical teams. I'm not sure I see it that way. I mean, the Dolphins really haven't lost all year long, except for the couple games where Tua was hurt. And other than that, they're almost undefeated. So I would have to say the Dolphins are significantly better than the Browns. They're at home. I don't know. This just feels like this number's wrong. That for some reason there's money coming in on the Browns. Maybe it was the way they hammered the Bengals 2 weeks ago. I don't think the Browns are nearly that good. We're going to go ahead and lay the 3.5 with the Dolphins. We're just going to say Tua is better than Jacoby Brissett, and that's all we need to know right there. Bills, Vikings. Interesting. So, is Josh Allen hurt, or is he not hurt? If this guy's hurt, this magical Bills season just goes probably right down the drain. Probably. You know, it doesn't have to necessarily. The Eagles won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. The Giants won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback so many years ago. It can be done. But boy, I don't know. Josh Allen's really good. And to think of him not playing, it's kind of scary. Now, that being said, right now the Bills are 3.5-point favorites. The Bills coming off a horrific loss to the Jets. That shouldn't have happened. That should not have happened. The Bills really only have a very thin lead in the AFC East. They've got a couple teams right on their tail. So this idea that they could just take it easy, no, they got to win. I mean, they've got a tiebreaker over Kansas City, but you start losing more games, that's all not going to matter. So they want that 1 seed. I wouldn't say they need it, but it's definitely going to be easier to win the Super Bowl not having to play that extra game in January. You want that bye. And so they're going to have to keep playing. They're going to have to keep playing. I think bouncing off that horrific Jet game, this idea that I think one of two things is going to happen. Either Allen is going to play and play well, or Allen's going to sit and Keenum's going to play well. Either way, I think they're going to pound the Vikings. The Vikings are in this middle ground right now. They're 7-1. The nearest team in that division is, I think, a sub-500 team. So they've almost got that division wrapped up. Yet the team they're chasing for the 1 seed is a good 2 games ahead of them. The Eagles are undefeated, plus they have the tiebreaker over the Vikings, so there would have to be a 2-game swing there for them to catch the Eagles. That's unlikely to happen. So the Vikings really don't need this game. This is just kind of, it's goof around time in Minnesota. And the Bills need this game. I think they're going to get it and it won't be close. We're going to lay the 3.5 and play the Bills. Broncos, Titans. Titans 2.5-point favorites. I think we're going to go ahead with the Broncos here. They play a low scoring games, so there's that. They're coming off a bye, so perhaps somehow they found some offense during the bye week. The Titans, they're in that quarterback carousel area there. Will Tannehill play? Will he not play? When he does play, will he be limited or will he be full strength? Don't know. This is a good spot for the Broncos. The Titans, again, they're in a spot where they're like the Vikings. They've kind of pulled ahead a little bit of the rest of their crummy division. So they could throw a game here and not really have it hurt them too bad. Whereas the Broncos are, they need to win. They got to have this game. They got to have it. And I think this is a good spot for Russell Wilson maybe to get off the schneid and have a good game. We're going to go ahead and take the 2.5 with Denver over the Titans. Giants, 4.5-point favorites over the Houston Texans. Honestly, could get you all kind of value this year with the Giants. Well, we adhere in this sports barn to the Bill Parcells theory. You are what your record says you are. And if your record says you're 3-6, then you suck. Whereas if your record says you're 6-2, you're good. And the Giants are good. This is a good team. And they're only 4.5-point favorites over the 1-6-1 Texans? What? That doesn't make any sense. So we'll just go ahead and lay it. I think we're catching value there. I think we're catching a lot of value there. The Giants are coming off a bye, I believe, the more I'm thinking about it. Again, there's a team that should be fresh and ready to play a good game. So lay the 4.5 with the Giants. Okay, 4 o'clock games. Raiders. Normally, I would have taken the Colts here, but we're using the Raider theory, which I discovered to my success probably a year and a half ago. The Raiders, they're the Costanza team. You simply do the opposite of what you would normally handicap with the Raiders. You simply do the opposite. This is a team that does not respond like normal teams would to stimuli, to emotions, to outside factors. They're just different. And this is a spot which normally you'd look at it and say, okay, this is a spot for the Colts. No, this is a spot for the Raiders. So we'll lay the 4.5 with the Raiders. Cowboys-Packers, what an interesting game we have here. The number I've got right now is the Cowboys by 4 at Green Bay. What do we make of these Packers with the great Aaron Rodgers? They're 3-6, right? I got that right? They're 3-6, or are they 3-5? I forget. The Cowboys are 6-2. I think there's a trap here, and the trap is to take the great Aaron Rodgers. They can't be that bad, right? He just cannot be this bad. And he's going to have his day of days Sunday evening and circle the wagons and defeat the Dallas Cowboys at home and show everybody how great he is, that LaFleur needs this game to beat his predecessor, McCarthy. He can't have him coming in there and punking him because he'll be out of a job. If he doesn't win this game, he's probably out of a job. So this is a must-win game for LaFleur. So you got to be thinking here that you're taking the Packers. Well, we're not doing that. I think the Cowboys are just better than the Packers. Significantly better. They're just better. Like I said, 6-2, you're a good team. 3-6, you suck. The Packers are a bad team. And this is not a take your foot off the gas game for the Dallas Cowboys. They have a very good path to the Super Bowl. They can see it. They just got to stay with the Eagles. They got to stay right behind them. Don't let that deficit get any bigger. As long as they hold where they're at right now, And if the Eagles take a loss, then the Dallas Cowboys are right there. They just need to make a one game. Dallas still has a game on the schedule in Dallas the day before Christmas against the Eagles. And Dallas has got to be thinking, we're going to win that game. Win that game, they win the division. They just got to pick up one more game in order to get that scenario. So this is definitely not a kick this game away game for Dallas. They need this game. The Packers, I'm sure they'd like to have this game, but this is a team in complete disarray. And yeah, I'm sure, are they more desperate than the Cowboys? I guess. But they suck. They suck. So I think Dallas is just going to go up there and do what they do. They're just going to hammer those boys. You know, they're going to be rushing Rodgers off his feet, which will be fun. You know, I'll have to root for, you know, as an Eagle fan, I'm contractually obligated to root for the Packers in this game. But it'll be fun watching Dallas chase Aaron Rodgers all over the field, throwing him on the ground, watching Rodgers scream at his teammates. That'll be fun. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. But, yeah, that's how we're going to play that. We're playing the Cowboys. We'll lay the 4. And then lastly, you got two teams that this is kind of I would say this is definitely a get-out-of-town match here with the Rams and the Cardinals. Both teams, the world champion Rams. This is the worst world champion ever, the Rams. They barely won last year. Probably should have lost that game to the Bengals. But then now they're terrible, and now they're playing the Cardinals at home. They're only a 3-point favorite. We're going to take the Rams. We're just going to say, look, there's some pride there somewhere, and it's going to show up. Plus, Sean McVay owns the Cardinals. That's a team he always beats, and he needs it. He absolutely has to have it in this game, and we think he'll get it. It's possible, and I think this is a plus. It's possible Stafford doesn't play, which I think is a big plus. That if they play Wolford, that's big plus for the Rams. I think that'll give them a boost, and they'll win easily over the Cardinals. So we're going to take the Rams there. So there you have it. What we got here? Seahawks, Bears, Jaguars, Steelers, Dolphins, Bills, Broncos, Giants, Raiders, Cowboys, Rams. And if I don't get to make a Monday night video, I think we're going to make one. We're going to try to get the moron in here, the Super Eagle fan Mark. But I think we'll probably take the Commandos in that Monday night game against the Eagles. But at any rate, they're your picks. That's what you got. Make sure you go to that Politics Barn video, which I'm about to make now. And, well, I guess we'll talk to you again. Eric Arnold signing off. Let's get some winners, NFL winners. Oh, yeah, hit the like button and all that other good stuff, right?